In global politics, some friendships seem unshakable, enduring through the ebbs and flows of international relations. The bond between the US and Ireland has long been celebrated as one of these steadfast alliances. With festivities like St. Patrick's Day parades and the clinking of green beer, this relationship has been cherished by many. However, it is now facing a significant test that could redefine its future. On October 4, 2025, Ireland's unexpected foreign policy shift has left America feeling sidelined and uncertain about the path forward. Dublin is now prioritizing its core values and strengthening its ties with the European Union, a move that has raised eyebrows and concerns in Washington. As the US continues to pursue an America First agenda, Ireland is leaning into multilateralism, seeking broader alliances and cooperation. This divergence became particularly evident when Ireland chose to favor Canada in a major international initiative, signaling a shift in its diplomatic priorities. For President Trump, this decision felt like a personal betrayal, challenging the long-standing camaraderie between the two nations. The fallout from this decision has exposed the fragile underpinnings of what was thought to be an unbreakable alliance, leaving both sides to reassess their positions. Ireland's bold new direction forces both nations to confront their shared future and the potential for a redefined partnership. The question now is whether this is merely a temporary spat, or the beginning of the unraveling of a historic partnership that has stood the test of time. The US-Ireland relationship shines brightly, a beacon of international camaraderie and shared history. This relationship is especially celebrated during St. Patrick's Day in Washington, D.C., where the streets come alive with vibrant parades and festivities. The Irish Taoiseach presents the US president with a bowl of shamrocks, a gesture that symbolizes the enduring friendship and mutual respect between the two nations. The Friends of Ireland. Luncheon is a cherished tradition, celebrating the deep cultural ties and shared values that bind the two countries together. This event has long been a beacon of bipartisan warmth, bringing together Democrats and Republicans in a rare display of unity in a divided capital. However, in recent years, signs of strain have appeared, casting a shadow over this once unshakable alliance. The Trump administration's trade approach has introduced a new dynamic, challenging the traditional bonds with its focus on America First policies. Ireland, steadfast in its commitment to the EU, finds itself caught in a delicate balancing act between the US and Europe, navigating complex diplomatic waters. The Shamrock ceremony, once a simple symbol of friendship, now carries the weight of complex loyalties and geopolitical tensions. Beneath the pleasantries of public ceremonies, discussions often touch on thorny issues like trade tariffs and economic policies, revealing underlying tensions. The tradition meant to highlight unity now inadvertently highlights growing cracks, as both nations strive to maintain their historic bond amidst changing global dynamics. The Occupied Territories Bill has fueled friction between Dublin and Washington. It aims to ban imports from illegally occupied territories, focusing on Israeli settlements. For Ireland, it's a moral stand, showing solidarity with Palestinians. This stance challenges US foreign policy, which supports Israel. The Trump administration views the bill as undermining peace efforts. Ireland is caught between public demands and US warnings. This legislation symbolizes the growing ideological divide. The Occupied Territories. Bill debate is a dramatic tug-of-war between the powerful force of public passion and the calculated caution of political pragmatism. This issue has ignited intense emotions across Ireland, with citizens and leaders alike grappling with what it means to take a stand on the world stage. The Irish public has shown overwhelming support for a strong stance in favor of Palestine, with rallies, marches, and heartfelt demonstrations reflecting deeply held national values of justice, empathy, and solidarity with the oppressed. For many, this is not just a political issue, but a moral imperative rooted in Ireland's own history. Meanwhile, politicians are under immense pressure from their constituents to pass the bill, but they also face the sobering reality of potential US economic retaliation, which weighs heavily on every decision. The United States is Ireland's largest source of foreign investment, with billions of euros and thousands of jobs at stake. This economic relationship is a cornerstone of Ireland's prosperity and stability. Angering the US could jeopardize this vital relationship. risking not only investment, but also Ireland's reputation as a stable and attractive place for global business. The government is caught in a delicate balancing act, weighing the moral concerns of its people against the need to avoid a diplomatic and economic crisis with a superpower ally. Every official statement is carefully crafted, with each word analyzed by the public and the press. Delays in decision-making are met with suspicion and frustration, as both sides anxiously await the government's next move. This situation highlights the unique challenges that smaller nations like Ireland face when their values collide with the interests of global superpowers. It's a test of sovereignty and principle. The government knows that no matter what decision it makes, it will face criticism from one side or another. The stakes are high, and the scrutiny is relentless. It's a classic no-win situation, leaving Ireland at a critical crossroads where every path forward carries both risks and opportunities for the nation's future. The choice Ireland makes now will not only shape its foreign policy for a generation, but also define how the country sees itself and how it is seen by the world in the years to come. As US-Ireland tensions simmered, Canada entered the picture. Prime Minister Trudeau's government focused on multilateralism and alliances. Canada offered a stable partnership based on shared values. Ireland cultivated its relationship with Ottawa, finding common ground. A landmark trade and diplomatic partnership was formed. Ireland diversified its alliances, reducing reliance on the US. The move was a masterstroke of quiet diplomacy, forging a new path. The Irish-Canadian partnership shocked the White House. For President Trump, it was the ultimate insult. He accused Ireland of disloyalty, declaring America left out in the cold. The president threatened to review visa arrangements and hinted at economic consequences. His rhetoric escalated the tension to a public feud. Behind the scenes, White House officials scrambled. The move was seen as a rebuke of Trump's foreign policy. The incident reinforced the narrative of US isolation. Diplomatic channels between Washington and Dublin grew icy. The episode illustrated the new reality of transatlantic relations. Ireland faces tough choices with no easy answers. Economic ties to the US remain vital, but retaliation threats loom. Ireland has chosen to deepen EU integration and alliances with Canada. Backing down would undermine Ireland's credibility. The government must stand its ground without burning bridges. This dilemma forces Ireland to confront its place in the world. Is it a transatlantic nation or rooted in Europe? The government must reassure the US while defending its foreign policy. The path Ireland chooses will have lasting consequences. It will shape its identity as a sovereign nation in the 21st century.